Professor Park, Daehyuk Park, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, what about other people so who's gonna join this communication today?
Okay, the students who have presented their sessions and the gentleman Boaz from Kenya and many other people, and I think we can have very free discussion how we can work together towards global sustainability.
All right, so why don't we introduce ourselves first?
Yes, that's a good idea.
And then, okay, DH Park, why don't you start? I believe you did it already, so why don't you introduce the other person then?
Okay, Boaz, can you talk about yourself? Why you're here? What do you want to do?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Boaz Kata from Tumoitis in Kenya. I'm privileged to be here, and I'd like to say thank you very much. I am part of the Kenyan team that is working with Handong University. I am the founder and proprietor of Tumoitis in Kenya, so I think that's good enough for an introduction, and then I'll join in later. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the great introduction.
And anybody from Chakanta, anybody want to talk? Like Iran? Sabine, please say anything.
Okay, Chakancha team, can you introduce? I mean, we heard your video, but still, okay, go ahead.
I'm Seven Lee, and I major in computer science and design. My role in Talk and Talk is design. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, what about Tika?
Yeah, all of them, just say briefly. Hyunmin, why don't you say something? Minseok, turn on your video, everyone, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, hello, my name is Hyunmin, saying it in English, and I'm a current student in Handong Global University. I'm freshman, and I'm part of Tiki Taka. It's my great honor to be here today.
All right.
Minseok,
Hello, guys. I'm freshman and in NTU and just say hello.
Yeah, that's great. And hello is a very strong word. We can actually, by hello, connecting together, all of you. Very good, thank you. What about the Wa? Anyone from Wa?
Jin,
Hello, my name is Jin Yu, and I'm a sophomore in Handong Global University, and I major in global entrepreneurship. And it's nice to meet you, and I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for all of you to joining right now. Can you actually make the screen for the gallery view? Can you do that? All right. Okay. Now I believe it's a lot of people. We can actually see each other. That's great. We have lots of people listening and then attending and part of the discussion. So this discussion is basically the idea coined by the Professor D.H. Park, and the topic about this panel discussion is how to form a global collaboration among various interest groups to solve global problem. And then I believe I said this is a great idea because our topic is global sustainability by science and technology innovation, and then I myself doing the few venture, but the whole idea about sustainability is matter. That said, okay, we have a great idea, we create something very exciting venture for good mission, good vision, good purpose. But end of the day, sustainability is one thing very important because We are not just living it, enjoy 4, 5, 10 years, and then we have to do that. And then, so therefore, right now, you guys create a very exciting platform. Chakancha, I know very well, and then I try by myself. I'm buying tea from Chakancha, and then I try it, open. It's an amazing product. And then also for the Tika and Wang. And then let's discuss about, you guys, the platform and project is very exciting. And let's discuss about what is you guys encounter problem, how can we actually solve it together? In other words, how can we help you guys out or actually put the brain together? That's what we call this brainstorming together to actually solve this problem, or potentially we can actually have a great idea to tackle the problem together. Okay, who's gonna start first? By express the current problem.
Let me start first. I'm very glad that you're receiving us in a very positive and friendly way. But you guys and we are in a very different discipline, silos, in different worlds. So there is a huge river or gap between us, and to build a bridge between you and us, I think what I can propose is like I think you have a lot of solutions for almost any problems, and we are full of problems without many solutions in a way. And for example, to make black tea in Kenya, it takes about 12 kilowatt energy. While if you want to make steel, it takes about 8 kilowatts of energy. So it takes more energy to make black tea compared to steel. And in Kenya, they produce more than 400,000 tons of tea a year. And the only fuel source to make black tea is wood. They cut down trees to make wood and to use it as a fuel. And they are on the equator, and the tea village is in a very high altitude. So this is perfect place for solar power generation. So if you can build a right solar generating system in Kenya, I think we can save a lot of CO2 emission. So many good things will come out. And also, Dr. Cho, you have invented technology to turn polymer into a plastic material, right? So we can start to sell everything which we use for like plastic cups or any cups. Any material can be made by polymer if you work with us. And also, if you have any good idea or technology, you can use our advertisement system through our fleet of tea trucks, LED tea trucks globally, to broadcast, to communicate with people of the world, to create a vendor for any technology. So this is some kind of food for the thought, and this is what I think.
All right, there is a lot of exciting comment, and then problem Professor Park just mentioned about one of them is energy problem, which is, let's start from the energy problem. And I think that's a very important thing is because number one, it was a great surprise that producing the black tea and required that much of energy, which is, I believe, not many people really understand the realizing that much energy is required to produce black tea. And then right now in Africa, in order to produce black tea, if my understanding is correct, they're using the pure wood. Is it true? 착한 차 team. 착한 차? Hello? Who is 착한 차?
I'm Chakhan Cha.
Yes.
Oh, yes. This answer is true.
So how much energy is required in order to produce, let's say, 1 kilogram of black tea?
Boss, can you answer it?
Boss, unmute. We're not hearing you. Boss, unmute, please.
Yeah, you need to unmute your voice from June in order to participate this question. Okay?
My sincere apologies, I had some small technological challenge. You're very correct. To produce tea, we use quite a lot of firewood. In a typical setting, we are using a meter cubed of firewood to produce a meter cubed of firewood to produce 50 kilos of made tea.
Oh, 50.
Now, a meter cubed of dry firewood to produce 50 kilos of made tea. If you consider our scenario where our attempt is almost to produce, or we aspire to do at least 1 ton of tea per day, then you can imagine the amount of firewood we'll be using on a daily basis. So if you were to travel to Dundee, basically 1/3 of our farms is basically woodlots that we are burning every day. And Professor is right, solar would be definitely a better way to go. Thank you.
Wow. Can you guys still hear me? Hello, can you guys hear me?
So anybody can say, please say anything, any suggestions?
I love you. Just wait.
Yeah. What?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please say something.
Thank you for inviting us. I'm Japan Korea member, one of the member, and I'm in Handong University student. I'm marketing director in my teams, and we want to improve typical life more better than we first, and we want to your support from scientists.
Yeah, so I was off because the battery has a problem right now. I just changed it. So energy is very important. And then right now, currently you just talked about the BOAS, also talk about the energy issue. I think in order to tackle this problem, I think this is a very important problem because we drink a lot of tea, and you guys need to start broadcasting this fact that start with, because not many scientists, engineers even know in order to produce tea, it requires a lot of energy like this. If we knew, then definitely we can actually provide a lot of solution. That's including the solar cell power or other natural power generation either a hybrid or just pure natural source of the energy source we can actually develop. And then the Professor Park also mentioned about what about the sustainable material? Actually, we can actually develop those sustainable material for the chakancha or chakan tea and so on and so forth. So there is another way we can actually collaborate together, cooperation together and so on. So the Korea Association of Science and Technology in Singapore, we are in the stage of the committee, or we are the people, expert people, who can actually support such a technological and science excellencies in order to solve such a problem. Any other, before I give you a solution, any other problem you can actually encounter and mention of so that we can provide a solution?
Another problem I saw is biodiversity. Because actually they kill every plant except the tree, which is not sustainable at all. So we need to find a way to farm different plants at the same time. I think which will produce better tea eventually. So I think that sort of a hope is also needed.
Let me add before you comment, and just one more thing on Professor Park's comment. By nature, tea has a preference for growing in acidic soils, and so we are using a lot of nitrogenous fertilizer, to really try and make our yields go up. There has been attempts to try and do organic tea farming, but the issue is how to get that nitrogen content without using, industrial fertilizers. So, yes, he's right. One, if there is anything we can integrate to our tea farming that solves the nitrogen problem, or if there are any ways to seriously shy away from industrial fertilizer, but just still be able to get high nitrogen content. I know one study I've read about is trying to use chicken manure, so it may be following that route and really finding out how then can you really grow tea on an organic level, while not compromising so much of the yield would be an interesting study, because that nitrogen content, rarely have we found a solution towards that, because that would be a great stride towards sustainable farming.
Okay, there is another exciting question or solution necessary for the sustainable agriculture, especially from two Moitis, Boaz talking about the nitrogen content, which is generally very much necessary for the sustainable agriculture. We always, as a chemical engineering process, we always measure the CHN processes, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen content, which is we are very familiar with. Before I answer every solution, I want to hear from the student too. So you guys actually found the company Tika Tika, Chakancha, wow, and what kind of problem you guys often encounter? Not the voice from the Professor Park or voice from the another Boaz, Dr. Boaz. I want to hear about you guys' opinion, you guys' problem, you guys' solution. Okay, go ahead.
If I may speak, a few problems we encountered with Tiki-Taka was, I'll shortly name two things, was the energy, like the electricity problem with the truck, because we have to move around the city and we have to display the LED 24 hours maybe, and during that hours, we have to have the advertisements keep going. So we had to think about a method to store that much electricity and energy to display the LED screens for our given hours. Another problem we encountered was, since we want to become an eco-friendly business, we were thinking about how we can make our cups or plates eco-friendly and disposable instead of using just plastic.
That's an excellent question. And the excellent problem. Any other team? Wow. What about WOW team for the education 4.0? Any problem you encounter, you want to solve the problem? WOW team?
I'm seeing you, and I think our team's problem is already the original education was fixed already in Korea. So I think it's a little bit hard to change the education paradigm. So we want help to how can we efficiently change these problems to Korean students or with Singapore students. And actually we wondered how the scientists can help us to develop more about this new GPS programs. So we need your help.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much. It's very exciting. Let's speak from one by one. And then 착한 차, I'm very well aware of how the birth of a 착한 차 and 착한 concept and sustainable production came out. And then we are part of it. And then we're very honored to be part of this kind of exciting program. Okay? And then the first, for the energy problem, we were very surprised to hear that producing the small black tea. We saw just using the sunlight to basically dry out the black tea. But in reality, it's not the case. We have to use lots of energies, and then the source is from the non-sustainable, very invasive way to actually produce the electricity. And then there is actually technology-wise there is already solution available. What we need to think about is how we can implement such a solution. Okay, and that is including solar cell, other alternative power source we already have technology-wise. So therefore, we need to find a way out to implement such a thing. And the second one, tika, and then for the electric car, and then also for the advertisement 24/7 for LED platform. That is a very exciting project too, and then basically we are discussing in Singapore too how we can actually implement in Singapore, and especially in the university setting, and then especially in this Eco Lab is one of the platform lab for the sustainable earth, so which is a very important feasibility we can actually have. The question is, how can we actually produce the electricity? If mobile electricity is necessary in order to maintain this car. That meaning is you need to have a self-generated electricity all over. That's the one challenge. And the second one is, you guys are selling the chalk and time. If you're using the plastic cup or paper cup or with a straw, which does not make sense. It's not anymore 착한 concept. So you want to have an alternative source of the container in order to enjoy the tea and so on and so forth. So we understand that problem. I believe we can actually have the solution very, very near future. We are working diligently to solve the problem, not only the partially biodegradable plastic, we are trying to make the perfect biodegradable plastic. And then WA concept-wise, basically, we are talking about the education problem, education 4.0, Metabus, and the new university, future university, and also for the high school and middle school education problem, which is encountering most of the Asia. And then first day of this AKC, United Nations statistic, about 258 million children is out of school right now. 258 million children is out of school. So there is a tons of problem in the education 4.0, but I believe personally there is an opportunity too because of the technology development. So I don't always see the bad side, black side for that. I'm always thinking the positive side as well. So I believe there is many different opportunities we can actually tackle. That's why we have such a conference together. And then right now I'm surrounding with a lot of cameras right now. That's why the camera is moving back and forth, including GoPro, Nikon, and other cameras. So this is new technology and the new way of actually developing to showing the AKC2021, as you see that. Very interactive way. So I believe we can actually find a solution for the future education. There's many different ways we can do. And then finally, all of you guys give a great talk and then great interaction. And then I'm very thankful to the joining today. What we're gonna do is next year, we will have AKC 2022, and then we're hoping that we have offline physical events. We can actually invite all of you in here at the Young Talent Program, which we have for the track 1 and track 2, so that we can have the 1 week program can make it in Singapore. Okay, this is gonna be very, very exciting program actually we can do. Okay? Any comment from the Professor Park?
I'm so glad to hear that, and my Handong students are really overexcited, and they will be so happy to be there in Singapore next year for a full week. And I think they will do something to change the world for better sustainability. Thank you very much, Dr. Cho.
Yeah, thank you. Also, the boss from the what tea? That was what's the name?
Tomorrow.
Okay. Tomorrow tea from the boss, Dr. Boas. We will also invite you in Singapore, and we're gonna have a separate discussion of the problem you encounter, and definitely this is going to be another way we can actually do that. So we have lots of young talent professional people and willing to actually discuss and tackle together. That's what we want to do. Okay?
Thank you very much. I'm honored. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for your all participation. And then any of this Tika or Chakancha and then Wow, any of them, if you have any question or comment, please let me know. This is going to be the final comment. Okay, go ahead.
I have 2 questions, and currently Chakancha is considering management that considers the environment. One of them is the material of packaging. Chakancha wants to use the eco-friendly and most economical materials. Our goal is for consumers to think, oh, this company is very new. So it's our problem.
Yeah, I mean that is everybody's problem nowadays. In every 3M company or the material company contact us to basically find the way out, the solution. HP also, they need to find the new material. Even Samsung want to have a sustainable packaging material too. for the TV, computer, everything. And then I definitely believe the Starbucks, all those tea manufacturing or the cafe manufacturers or coffee manufacturers, they want to have a sustainable container, which is I understand, and then we're working very hard. And then when you join in Singapore next year, so we can all actually gather together, talk further for the container, which is, it will take time. And then we are developing technology, and some part of technology is already developed. However, we need to make the scale up, and then it will take time. But there is a lot of potential we are having to have work together. So I'm very positive for this direction, and then you point out very nicely. Any other team?
Oh, thank you. And next question, Juhan will talk.
Okay.
Sometimes I have a plan to buy our product to company, so we need to have a.
Okay, can you repeat the question again?
Okay, sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
한국어로 좀 할게요.
Yeah, no problem.
저희가 이제 착한차 타겟이 앞으로 회사도 이제 회사에서 유통을 할 계획인데 이런 부분에서 한국에서 좀 도움을 유통망을 확보할 수 있게 도움을 받을 수 있을지 여쭤보고 싶습니다.
So what they asking is that they're gonna distribute this chakancha to the company setting too. And then they wanna actually seek help. I mean, it's not only in Korea, I believe in Singapore, many different company, and then I promise you, I will promote the chakancha to, in order to, because this concept is very good, and then we work with a lot of different company setting together. So, they will definitely have a great opportunity for doing this. Okay? All right.
So, can I introduce Ken?
Yes, go ahead.
Ken, can you talk? Because Ken is the gentleman in Kenya who wants to do so. Yeah, Ken, and he, we want to solve the blood problem. And Ken, please say something about the blood quota. How to make it happen quota.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to join this morning and sharing what I've been listening to regarding Chakancha and Tiki-Taka. And I'm pleased to have been part of Chakancha Kenya, and I'm pleased to know Boaz and have worked with him, and also Daehyuk and the team of the Korean students. And I'm also pleased to introduce the current Chakancha project that we have been discussing with DH Park regarding Colton. I have some good connections of producers of Colton, and we have been discussing the idea of how we can introduce the Colton model, the Chakancha model or Chakancha principle in cotton production, because that is an industry where most of the wrongs come in terms of environment, in terms of how much people are paid, in terms of the livelihoods of the miners. So the model of Chakancha introduced into coltan mining and going back to the industry where coltan is mostly used in electronics and technology will go a long way in making a difference to the lives and sustainability of the communities that work in this industry. So I'm pleased to be part of this. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ken. And then it was actually the big problem, and then I heard of blood metal, and that the rare metal is very important for our society, and that I believe this is a very important problem, and that we definitely need to tackle out how we're gonna be sustainably to capture this rare earth material in order to basically help or in order to sustaining this capturing system. So I will also invite you to come to here next year in order to
Thank you very much.
discuss further for this AKC 2022.
Thank you
Okay.
very much.
All right. Thank you very much for the thing. And then I have one question. Wow, team also have a question we want to ask. Okay, very good. So, okay, please go ahead.
Hi, we're from Watsi, and our question is, before we ask the question, we want to state the problem that we're faced with, which is achievement gap. And by achievement gap, we mean like whether students who are not enrolled in school or students that are in school but have the gap of grades. So we want to ask, like, how can we narrow down the achievement gap between the
So
students?
this was the major problem that we thought might have been very crucial in sustainability as well, about narrowing down the achievement gap. And the solution that we thought about was the one that you also mentioned before, which is like considering of technological things such as metaverse or Zoom, making connections to our technological activities. And one of our solutions was to make a gamification system in education where we can allow more students to be more motivated, especially in education, and let education be more achievable for students who are not being able to have high advanced level of education. But then we don't know in what sort of technological way we can support those type of system towards those students. And we also want to ask another question about how we can add some technological support in our Good Start camp, which was mentioned in the video. Do you have a mere understanding of how we are trying to do our camp and all that? Because like if you do, we would like to re-explain about it and get some technological support and help based on that thing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. But it was a very clear question you're asking about how sustainably we can actually educate people in order to encourage people, and also the whole idea of education. It's been a long time. Is from our birth of it, and every single population are exciting and interested about education. But still, and it is ultimately very, very difficult problem to solve. But that's why we need to all gathering together to actually put effort, put it together and solve the problem. For the technological part, and we heard your talk, and we have some idea for the technological solution, but this is the very detailed explanation is necessary. So for the time being or time due, we need to reconnect again in order to discuss about your technical challenges, and we can give you some of the suggestion and solution for that. I hope this is all okay. So I need to actually close down this whole session and then stay one, because a lot of people are online right now. And then the first of all, this afternoon session led by the Professor Park, and with the excellent team of Handong University, Chakancha, Tika and Wa, and also from the Kenya, Africa, for the camp for the blood medal, and also for the TOST, which is the Dr. Boaz involvement was a very exciting one. And then we are all thank you for you guys' participation. So we hoping that we can actually interact together very soon in near future. And then now in Korea and Singapore right now we are changing to with COVID, so we can travel. So we're hoping that from next year we can actually create a very exciting program. We can interact further together. Okay. Thank you very much, and then I'm hoping that I can see you in Handong University, and also see you in Korea and see you in Singapore. Thank you very much for you guys to attending this exciting panel discussion and talk, and thank you. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much.